Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Baseball Diaries. It is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday, and we have missed a Thursday and a Tuesday episode. I missed Thursday because I went and saw Andrew Schultz. I got front row tickets for $60. So, bang.
It's an acceptable excuse. Sunday and Monday, it was just like the Eagles were playing, and that just made me angry. So I didn't really have a good reason. It just pissed me off. However, to counteract everyone who said we were idiots for believing in the Tigers, have the best record in baseball since August 11th.
Yep. And that's without Jack Flaherty.
It's without Jack Flaherty.
And they're 1.5 game back of the wild card right now. They could sneak in.
If they sneak in, our take looks a lot less stupid.
Yes. They didn't win the division, but they made the playoffs.
And maybe that inspires them to spend money. I know they don't.
Yes.
You can't have shit in Detroit. But you might have something with the Tigers.
The last time that they spent money was Javi Baez. And,
it all originated with him going on the IL.
It did. Ever since he's been on the IL, they've been good. It's almost like taking the worst batter in baseball history out of the lineup makes the team better.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought literally the worst baseball player in the league, and you take him out of the lineup. And what's crazy is he's not even that good. He's still good defensively, but he's not what he was defensively.
He's not worth keeping in the lineup purely for a defensive
He literally,
standpoint.
This season, has negative 1.1 wins above replacement.
That's impressive.
It's impressively bad.
Proud of him. Good for him.
From a guy that was second in the MVP ballot in 2018.
Okay, so
is not even a replacement level player.
We already knew that was a problem.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Screw it. We've discussed the Tigers. Dodgers pitching issues. Oh my God, are they so many? It's many and varied, and all of them are very problematic.
You and I were on the fucking front runner of this at the beginning of the season when everyone was calling the Dodgers this crazy fucking juggernaut team that was going to be just world beaters, and I immediately was like, yeah, but their pitching is all question marks. Every single pitcher on that,
you have 10 starters, and 7 of them are like, are you sure?
Yeah, going into the season,
Glasnow was the most obvious one. Glasnow is now out for the year.
I'll disagree that it was the most obvious for that. Yes, I'll agree with that.
The most obvious to get hurt. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, but I'm just saying, most obvious to perform. I would have gone probably Kershaw because it's like, okay, he's hurt right now, but anytime he's on the mound, he's fucking good. But the issue is,
but you can't
when
trust
is he
him
on
in
the fucking
playoffs.
mound? Yeah, and you can't trust him in the playoffs. That's another thing. And then also just keeping him on the mound. And then you had Yamamoto, who had never pitched in Major League Baseball, ever.
And he was fine. He was actually pretty good.
But then he got hurt again. Yeah, and he got hurt again, and he's finally back. But he was hurt for a while, and then you had Walker Buehler coming off injury, Bobby Miller coming off injury, Tony Gonsolin's still fucking hurt.
Dustin May ruptured his damn esophagus.
Yeah, it was question mark after question mark. To the point where their most stable guy, Gavin Stone,
maybe,
and even he's hurt right now.
And they're getting to the point where this is part of the news and notes. They're considering having Ohtani pitch in the postseason, which I think is a terrible idea.
I think it's an absolutely awful idea. I think it is.
And
I think it is risky as fuck.
They'll probably do it because they're so desperate.
They are extremely desperate, and I think it's stupid of them because I just think this year, pencil it off as whatever you get, you get. Whatever you get it this year. If that means you make a deep run in the playoffs, fine. Do not pitch Ohtani because you spent $700 million on him.
Mm-hmm.
And say you rush him back and he gets fucking hurt and now he can't pitch ever again? You just wasted $700 million on a fucking DH now.
It's like, what are you going to do? Have him learn first base? What's Freddie Freeman going to do?
Yeah, you can put him in the outfield. Okay, that's not really... Again, you spent $700 million on... I don't know what his defense in the outfield would be, but I'd imagine it would be
subpar
average.
At best.
I would say average. I'd say he'd be an average.
He's a good athlete, but he's...
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever played outfield.
He's played a few games in the outfield with the Angels.
Of course he has.
But it was because like he came out of the pitching, or he came out pitching, and they wanted to keep. It was before they made the Ohtani DH rule.
Oh, okay. Well, and again, I think that's super desperate, and they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do that.
I think it's. I think it's
look,
bad idea.
I don't care that he is the closest thing to a superhuman in the sport.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
No, it's just not worth the risk. I mean,
because
again,
if you start doing that, now it's going to be like, well, now you look like what the Angels did with Trout.
Yep. And I mean, the difference is at least they're going to be good. Like they're at least going to go to the playoffs pretty much every year. But it's still not worth the risk of him getting injured before the end or next year. Because like I said before, this year Dodgers, like I was like, they're good. They are good.
Yeah.
But they're not next year's Dodgers. Next year's Dodgers are fucking world beaters if you get everybody healthy. Because they're guaranteed they're getting fucking Flaherty back. I already know that's for fucking sure. They're going to sign Flaherty back. So then that rotation becomes Yamamoto, Glasnow, Flaherty, Gonsolin, Bobby Miller, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, fucking.
So how many of these people are you pushing to the bullpen? Like, think about that.
Guaranteed, you're pushing Tony G bullpen by Bobby Miller or Walker Buehler. One of you two is Walker Buehler is a free agent after this year, so he's gone. Like that's fine.
Yeah,
and they're going to let him walk. And that's because he's not having a good year. And then it's like, okay, we got
Walker Buehler to Detroit.
Yeah, Walker Buehler to Detroit would be nice. I'd take that risk.
I would take that risk if I'm Detroit.
No, you know who's going to sign him? The Cardinals are going to sign him, and he's never going to be the same ever again. He's broken. I'm going to be right back. I shall be right back.
Okay. Moving on from that, we got Lindor's X-rays came back clean, and so does MRI. So he'll only miss a few days. It depends on how his back reacts. He said that in his most recent press briefing. Realistically, he'll be fine. And the Mets are in a battle for the playoffs now. And Matt Olson hit a home run how many minutes ago? 20 minutes ago. So, who knows how that game's going? You know what? Let's find out. As well, he's just opening the door. Matt Olson, they are up 3-1 against the Reds in the first inning. I have no idea what's actually going on, but the Mets are still in a playoff battle against the Braves now.
Yes, and them getting Lindor back is going to be huge because without him, that team is not scary, to say the least. With him, they're a good team. Like, I don't want to say they're a good team, but they're
more scary.
Much more scary. Much more scary. They're a team that I could see actually winning a playoff series. Without him, I don't see that happening.
No, I 100% agree. In the least surprising news, Corey Seager's out for the season because he's been missing for most of it.
I mean,
except for like a 2-week tear that he went on.
Well, he's been, I mean, all season he's actually been good. Remember, I looked up, well, not all season. He had a terrible, first 3 months of the season and then pulled it completely around.
That's enough to put him on a milk carton. We
put
him on a milk carton.
We did put him on a milk carton, but he did, I mean, he, as of today, has 5 wins.
No, I know he had a good season, but the fact that he's going on the IR, it's like that's just the Rangers punting the season. Yeah. They're punting the rest of the season.
And they should punt this season because the rest of the news and notes kind of show why it's okay to punt the season because next year they'll have now Jacob deGrom is back and he's already looking disgusting like usual. It's Jacob deGrom. What do you expect? He's always like that. And they also got Scherzer back and on a crazy turn of events, I've lost Brendan. I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you froze on me, so I just disconnected and reconnected.
And then they're also getting Kumar Rocker back. Or they have Kumar Rocker now. So, I mean, that team, same exact team, just healthy next year with DeGrom, Scherzer, Evaldi, and then Kumar Rocker, and then Jack Leiter's your 5. That's kind of disgusting.
Absolutely. And
I mean, if Adolis Garcia can figure out jump roping again.
Look, we'll delve into this now because it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
If the Mariners retain the same mentality because of their GM, next year, you can kiss the playoffs goodbye. You're never sniffing them again. Because the Rangers are going to be good next year.
The Rangers are going to be really good next year.
So, that's on you. Like, you're saying, oh, well, we only need to win 54%. No, not in the AL West. You don't. You need to win more than 54% of your games to get into the playoffs.
Because right now, the Astros aren't going fucking anywhere. They're going to be good next year, too. And so are the Rangers.
And you're going to be worse because you don't have hitters.
No, you have Randy Arozarena.
You have no one that can hit the ball.
J-Rod is finally starting to hit the ball. Finally.
He is.
Fuck.
This is the longest slump he's been in his entire career. And it was, originally it was like, oh, he's a slow starter. All right, whatever. Slow starter, fine.
Yeah,
you don't have a slow starter.
August.
Not get going until early September. That's not a thing. A slow starter doesn't get going in early September. No. A slow starter gets going in July.
I wouldn't even say July. I would say like May. Honestly,
it depends on how slow you consider it.
Yeah. I mean, definitely agree. But I mean, like even this year. So right now he's got a 707 OPS or 705 OPS for the year. Mm-hmm. Even if he continues this streak for the next two plus weeks until playoffs start, he's still going to be in the low 700s for OPS.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's like that's not.
It's not winning baseball.
No,
those are not winning baseball numbers.
And also, because I just got this text message and I'm angry about it. Take a guess what Tommy Edman is doing in his last 9 baseball games.
Oh, he has to have at least 4 or 5 homers. I've seen
homers. 5 homers in his past 6 games. 5 homers in his past 6 games. In his last 9 games, he's hitting .382.
What'd you guys trade him away for? Pennies?
Eric Fetty and Tommy Pham, who's no longer on the card. Tommy Pham's no longer on the Cardinals. I knew Tommy Pham wasn't.
I know Eric Fetty is.
Which I don't even know what Eric Fetty's done in his last few starts, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you're just going to. This is only going to be painful for you, but okay.
You know I have to do it.
Well, I mean, technically, this makes you a sadist at this point.
I mean, it's not as bad as I thought. His last 7 games, he's got a .382. He's 1-4.
So I mean, could be better.
I mean, a .382 is not. I mean, for the Cardinals, that's fucking great. That's better, way better than Michaelis.
Hey, Michaelis has made 30 starts in how many straight?
What was it, 3 straight seasons? Which is just appallingly bad.
Like, he's made some of the starts of all time.
He's made and it's crazy because we're not even paying him like that. Like, it's not like the national situation where it's like they gave Patrick Corbin way too much money. Like, Michaelis is on a pretty team-friendly deal. And, he has made 30 starts this season, 35 last year, 32 the year before that. In those
35
years,
last year is crazy.
32 in 2022 he did have a good year. 32 starts, 3.29 ERA. Last year 35 starts, 4.78. This year 30 starts, 5.49.
He's regressing.
It's almost like a 35-year-old pitcher will do that.
Yeah.
A 35-year-old pitcher who never sniffs above 94.
No. Bad.
Yeah.
Bad front office decisions.
Yeah.
So this one I hadn't seen. The MLB is investigating Alex Cora after he hinted at the fact that Bayo may have thrown at Judge intentionally. And I mean, look, this happened to Castellanos this week.
Yep.
I mean, because you like I sent you that right as the ill-fated debate was going on.
Yeah.
Castellanos got drilled right before that started. And it was the first hit batter that Edwin Uceta had ever hit.
Wait, and are you saying that Kamala had him hit? Is that what you're telling me?
Who knows? Who's to say?
She was like, I can't have him homering on 9/11 anymore.
But Yeah, it was the first hit batter of the season. I think it was even the first walk, technically. I mean, it wasn't because it was a hit batter, so it wasn't really a walk.
Yeah.
But Uceda had like a .74 ERA before that game against the Phillies, and they just tattooed him. I mean, like, it was brutal.
It always seems like whenever someone gets hit intentionally, anytime somebody gets hit intentionally, and it's not like, here's what I'll say: it seems like the baseball gods are real. Like anytime it seemed they intentionally hit a batter, and they're like, "Well, we kind of had a reason, but it wasn't a really good reason."
Yeah.
Usually that turns out horribly for them. Shit, same exact thing happened with the Brian Bayo situation, because right after that was the Garrett Cole start, where Garrett Cole decides he never wants to see Rafael Devers again, and just sends him to first base, intentionally walking him with nobody on base, and then he gave up 7 earned runs that game, which I don't know. They talked about this on Baseball is Dead too, and I completely agree with their sentiment. But like, if I was the highest paid pitcher in baseball minus Yamamoto, and then I just intentionally walked someone because I just didn't want to face them, I don't like the message that sends to my fellow pitchers at all. Like, to me that shows scared. Like, I understand.
Well, yeah, okay.
I understand he has his number.
Yes, and if anyone has Garrett Cole's number, it's Rafael Devers.
Yeah, and it's not even Rafael Devers does have his number, and it's not even.
And he's had his number since he came into the league, so like that's not surprising. But
also,
bases empty,
and you're Garrett fucking Cole. Like, you have 99 in the tank, just ready to go at any point, and I have a disgusting curveball. Will he
tattoo it? Maybe. Will he tattoo it? Given his numbers against you, likely thing for him to do. But really, you're showing you're scared of him with the bases empty.
Well, and then not only that, but like, I can understand walking him. That's fine. Like, throw around, try and make him chase some shit. I understand that. Yeah. That's fine. But just telling him
throw the 4 fingers up.
Go ahead, take it. No, I'm not doing that.
I get that it eliminates him as a potential home run.
Yeah, but he ended up scoring anyways.
Yeah, it didn't matter in the end.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm just thinking as a message to send to your team and your teammates' perspective. I'm not wanting to. That's not the message I'm sending to my teammates.
Yeah,
I'm the ace of the fucking staff. I'm showing you. I don't give a fuck that this guy owns me. I'm gonna do what I can to get this fucker out.
Yeah.
Like, he might own me from the day that he started the MLB. Not this at bat. He might do it again. But every time he comes up to bat, I'm thinking that same thing. Like, you're Garrett fucking Cole. You throw 99 with a disgusting curveball. Like, you are the second highest paid pitcher in baseball history, and you're just like, that guy? Nope. I'm not even gonna attempt to throw to him.
Yeah.
I hate that message that it sends. Which is right after, like I said, that was right after apparently Brian Bayo possibly drilled Aaron Judge intentionally. The thing that I hate about Judge is that I can't fucking hate Judge. He's just the nicest guy. Like, they interviewed him about it, and they were like, what do you think about getting intentionally hit? And he was like, it's part of the game. It happens. And I'm like, why couldn't you just have exploded?
Why was that a perfect answer for that?
Yeah, I'm like, why? Why are you just that nice? Like, I want to hate you. You're on the fucking Yankees. I want to hate you, but I can't. Like,
it's like Castellanos' answer to getting drilled intentionally. I mean, like, everyone knew it was intentional.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he was like, his number shot through the roof, and he's pissed off. It's like my 2-year-old when I take the cake away from him before they're done. And I was like, God, this guy.
That's such a casty answer. Like, and also, I gotta say, for Uceda, that was ballsy to throw at him when Bryce Harper is standing behind you.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper is about
Bryce
the business.
could have knocked Uceda the fuck out, but didn't do it because he was like, I'm not going to knock someone out when I'm behind him.
Yep.
Stupid.
We've seen Bryce is about the business. I mean,
he called it a loser move, and he wanted to call it, I'm going to say what he wanted to say. He wanted to call it a bitch move, because it would have been.
Yeah.
But he was like, if he had turned around, he said, I'm hitting his ass.
Yeah. I I mean, we know Bryce is about the business. He freaking sprinted out against Hunter Strickland. Him and Papelbon, I think to this day, don't like each other.
Papelbon says he likes him. So,
all right.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But I don't know if Papelbon likes a lot of people, honestly.
Papelbon probably, it's probably a very small list of people
like
Jonathan
his children,
Papelbon likes.
I don't even know if he has children, but his children, maybe his wife if he has a wife, and that's still a fucking baby.
His grandma?
Yeah, maybe. His mom? It's probably about it.
Yeah, it's a very short list.
And Bryce, and seeing that he choked out Bryce, I'm gonna lean that he's probably not on that list.
Yeah, probably not. Jonathan, if you want to come set the record straight on this podcast, feel free to.
Yeah, if you get somehow this ends up on your algorithm. If it ends up on your algorithm, we'll
take it.
I finally did the right hashtags. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. But I mean, the one thing that blew my mind about Usaida drilling Casti was he said, "Oh, I just lost my changeup." Bitch, you threw a 96-mile-an-hour sinker. You didn't lose a changeup there.
Yeah. Yep.
Your changeup average is 88. Everyone knows that.
Yep.
You were pissed off and you drilled Castellanos. Okay. Just own it. Stop being a bitch.
I mean,
regardless,
it's a situation where he'd have to own it and just and also say that I was being a bitch, honestly. It's not even one of those ones where it's like you can just say like, "Oh yeah, I did that on purpose." It's like I was being a little fucking baby.
Yeah. So probably why he didn't admit it, but
yep. All right.
To each their own. Do you really want to get into the Cardinals or?
Well, the fact that I've already said that the person we traded traded Tommy Edman for has a 3.83 ERA, and then Tommy Edman's hitting 3.82 in his last 9 games. And it's not like I didn't see this fucking coming, because as soon as I saw Tommy Edman traded, I was like, out of everybody we could have fucking traded, we trade the one guy that has consistently produced every season he's been on the team. He's already got a fucking gold glove. And people were like, "Oh, why would the Dodgers go after him?" I'm like, why the fuck would they not? The guy plays elite. It wouldn't make
sense.
He plays elite level defense at whatever position you need him to, and they don't have a shortstop. They have Mookie Betts, who was attempting to play shortstop. So, guess what they probably did? Edman shortstop, Mookie Betts back to the outfield. And that's exactly what they did. So it's like, yeah, the dude. I've seen. I can't remember if I think it was Nolan Arenado. Nolan Arenado was saying that he's never seen a shortstop as good defensively as Tommy Edman. Which Nolan Arenado has seen. Troy Tulowitzki has seen Trevor Story. He's seen some very talented shortstops, and then he put Tommy Edman above both of them. Anyways, Cardinals just got swept by the fucking Blue Jays, who are a baseball team, apparently.
Somehow.
I will be seeing them play on Thursday against the Adolis Garcia jump roping Rangers.
Jump rope enthusiast Rangers.
Yep. Solid jump rope enthusiast. Damn it, we're now when I wrote this we were under 500. We're back to 500. That'll probably change today because we have Lance Lynn on the mound.
Congrats.
Lance Lynn of a 3.96 ERA. Every single starter of ours I think has over a 3.5. Every single one.
It's great.
Even Sonny Gray, I believe, has over a 3.5. I'm looking
sure
it up right now because he's the only one. Yeah, he's got a 3.7. Literally, Andre Palante is the starter that I'm getting excited to see now. That's how bad this season is.
Yeah, that's real bad.
Yeah. Palante didn't even start the season as a starter. And actually, he's been pretty decent as a starter. But the sad thing is, I'm saying that and he's got a 3.87. Like, John Moe at the deadline said he was going to get another 5-starter to add to our collection of 5 starters. I mean,
he didn't lie.
He did not. He did not lie. He added another 5-starter to our collection of 5-starters.
I'm happy for you, bud.
I'm not happy for me. I don't envy me.
It was incredibly sarcastic.
I know it was. I mean, that's honestly, with the Cardinals, that's all I have to say. And actually, I want to see it because I kind of called this on the phone with my dad. I said before Goldie was back. I have a feeling that's not the case anymore because otherwise my dad would still be texting me about Paul Goldschmidt. And he has not in the last week, so that means he's probably back to not being good again.
Again.
In his last 7, last 7, he's got 273 with a 790 or 769 OPS. It's not, you know what? It's not prime Goldie, but it's not like
you're begging for help.
Yeah. I'd be like, okay, this is a slump Goldie. Like he had a bad week, Goldie. But yeah. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I already said he was back, so I've already made that claim. He's 30-7 now. Good God! And my dad thought he was gonna get 20-something million a year next year. How much crack are you on? With that, you want to go into the fun team of the podcast? Probably the funnest team to talk about at this point.
Yeah. So the Phillies are the first team in baseball to 90 wins. Took us a little longer than I expected. They've been weird in the second half, but they swept the Rays, and then they took 2 or 3 from the Mets. Oh God, needed to sweep the Rays, and then took 2 or 3 from the Mets. The first game was terrible, and now we play the Brewers. The Brewers took the first game, and we play the Brewers 2 more games. If we win 2, we hold a very, very big tiebreaker over them. If we even win 1, we hold the tiebreaker. So this series overall, I mean, it's wheels today. So if they win this start, it's like, okay, you can get the series win tomorrow, but at the same time, I'm like, you don't really need it that bad, because then you play the Mets again. This time it's in New York, and it's a 4-game set, and then we host the Cubs. So, and the Cubs have been resurgent. I think that's the right word to use to describe them, because it's like they were so far off the pace, and now it's like, well, I mean, they're kind of competing.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to get a wild card spot. They're 5 games back. That's out.
No, they're out of that. But like they're at least showing what they should have been all season.
True. The one thing that the Phillies are definitely going to be competing for is to
the number 1 spot.
Well, the number 1 spot, and then not only that, but to not be the number 3 spot, because the Brewers aren't that far back.
No,
I mean they're 2 games.
I think that's why I think we need to take 2 of 3.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you're not.
And it's not that the Brewers are a bad team.
No,
it's just you want that bye.
Yeah, well, you want the bye, and then also you don't want to have to play in a wild card series. Playing in a wild card series
sucks.
It can go either way. It's a 3-game set, and if that was the case, they'd play it right now against the Mets, or it could be the Braves at the end of the season because they're 1 game back. And a 3-game set versus the Braves right now, I would not want to fucking do.
No,
because that pitching staff has been dominant this year. I mean, Chris Sale. Let's say it did end up being Phillies versus Braves. Okay, Chris Sale versus Wheels, coin flip. I don't know who's going to win that start. Completely coin flip. And then 2 guy for the Braves, Fried. Okay, Fried versus Nola. I'm honestly probably going to go with Fried. By just like
the only reason you could even take that is because the Phillies have beaten the shit out of Fried recently.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm just saying, just based on like who I think is a stronger pitcher. Yeah, I'm gonna say Fried's a stronger pitcher.
I completely agree.
Yeah, and then 3 is Ronaldo Lopez, who has been fucking dominant.
Like against at this point, I think Ranger. It has to be. No, I don't even think it's Ranger. I think it's Sanchez.
Yeah, and I'm like.
Because Ranger's just getting back from injury, and he's really not been sharp.
Yeah,
so I'd start Sanchez.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, Sanchez versus Ronaldo Lopez, who's been absolutely dominant this year. I don't want to see what that 3 games. I don't think that
No, I don't either.
Like, the favorite would clearly be the Phillies to win that series, obviously. But is it out of the realm of possibility that the Braves take 2 out of 3? No, not even remotely out of the realm of possibility. Like, so I feel bad for if the Braves end up making it, whoever has to face them in that 3-game series, because it's gonna be like you might have won a division and just lost in the wild card round.
Yep.
Yeah.
With that, go ahead, get into the Astros.
The Astros, the Mariners apparently have been surging a little bit recently.
They have.
Because the Astros are now only 4 games up of the Mariners. So it's not impossible and I believe they play each other in a 4-game set coming up soon. 3-game set. Next week, Monday through Wednesday, they play each other in a 3-game set. So if they
the Mariners are playing the Yankees now, so
the Mariners have that's the one thing going against them. They have the worst, or they have the hardest record in baseball of relevant teams, basically, for the rest of the season.
And the Mariners' last game set is against the Athletics, which is obviously you could sweep that and make it interesting, but
the A's haven't been bad.
No, they haven't been. I'm saying you could sweep it, but it's not overwhelmingly likely.
No,
especially with it, like they took 3 of 4 from the Rangers. Now they play the Yankees. Then they play the Rangers again in Arlington. And then they play the Astros in Houston. And then they host the Athletics to end the season.
See, and the it's actually not much better for the Astros. They got the Padres right now, who they just lost to yesterday. Then they play the Angels, which is a 4-game set, which is huge for them. But then they play the Mariners.
I think that has to be a sweep. If it's not a sweep, you're going to be disappointed.
It's at least got to be at least 3 of 4, at least.
Yeah.
And then you got the Mariners for the 3-game set, and then they close it out with the Guardians. And the Guardians apparently are good. Like, apparently they're really good.
We've been questioning that all season. I think we just kind of have to accept it at this point.
We do have to accept it at this point, but it's just hard to say because I'm like, I understand they have J-Ram, but he's
everyone
only one
else
man.
In their lineup is like who?
Yeah.
I'm just glad Stephen Kwan came back down to earth because that was bullshit.
Yeah, that was fake. I don't know what to say. Like, that was not.
Like, call it what it is. It was bullshit.
Yeah,
like that was bullshit. Like,
I couldn't I'm looking at their lineup right now. Other than J-Ram, nobody has over an 800 OPS. And the next closest would be Josh Naylor's got a 780.
And they don't even have the pitching staff to back this shit up now.
That's what I don't understand. Gavin Williams is starting right now. He's got a 5.11 ERA. Like, normally it's like, oh, the Guardians have electric pitching, no hitting. And now it's like, I don't know how they're winning games. I genuinely have no, it's on the back of...
I don't watch enough Guardians games to know how they're winning games.
Just looking at their lineup, I'm like, I don't know how they're winning.
And you're like, well, how the fuck is this... How is this getting to the 9th inning? Because, no one's hitting Class A. We know that.
No,
whatever.
Class A,
but how are they getting there?
How are they?
Because
how
Class
do they have
A has
the lead?
The league leading in saves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you? Like, okay, not scoring a ton of runs, fine, that makes sense.
If you have
how are you getting to the save? How are you getting to the save?
Like, if you have electric pitching staff, that makes sense. But they don't.
They don't. It doesn't make any sense because it's like what?
And it's
Hunter
also
Gaddis is apparently nasty now, and I'm just like, who the fuck is Hunter Gaddis?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great reliever, but what?
But why is he a great reliever?
Yeah, you know what? Let's look up their roster right now, because I know a good chunk of their roster, but I'm like, who is starting their baseball games? That's what I don't understand. Who is starting for you?
Gavin Williams, apparently.
Gavin Williams, Tanner Bebe. Tanner Bebe has actually had kind of a bounce back, but not like an amazing season by any means.
Yeah, no.
Tristan McKenzie's been out for the entire. He's back.
Hasn't even been good.
No, he's been terrible. He's got a 5.11. Gavin Williams before today has a 5.23. Logan Allen 5. This is our starting rotation. Logan Allen, who has a 5.73, Ben Lively, who has a 3.87, and then Tanner Bebe is their ace with a 3.0 or a 3.60. Sorry. I mean, their bullpen
That's ridiculous.
Their bullpen is ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. Their bullpen
but how are they getting there? Because
I
it's
don't
like
know.
What you're getting 6 terrible innings and then praying that your bullpen saves you.
Yeah, and apparently just somehow scoring more runs than the other team. Like, I just genuinely don't know how they're scoring more runs.
Neither do I.
It's just...
I'll get the random notification that David Fry hit a home run, and I'll be like, how did he hit another one?
Yeah. I mean, David Fry's got... he doesn't even have that many home runs. He's got 14.
I know.
But it's like...
That's the problem.
Are these just the most, best timing of home runs ever?
It has to be. He's like hitting grand slams every second at bat.
Yeah, for some reason, like it was because like 3 guys got walked, and then he hits the grand slam. Like,
yeah, because it's definitely not 4 hits in a row.
No, I mean they got 2 guys who have over 100 RBIs, and that's Josh Naylor and Jose Ramirez. And it's just like, minus those 2 guys, they don't have a guy with more than 60 RBIs. That's it. Like,
that doesn't shock me.
I'm just so confused at just how they're winning baseball games. That's what I don't understand.
So am I.
Yeah. Anyways,
we already delved into the Mariners. Do we want to dive into the Orioles? I have to eat dinner soon. So
okay. All right. Well, delving into the Orioles, that's a sad story.
They've fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, completely. They're now 3 games back, and I didn't do this as of yesterday. So as of yesterday, they were 3-7 in their last 10.
They're losing 3-0 to the Giants right now.
And yeah, they've completely fallen off a cliff. To the point
I think
where
it's a lack of maturity.
Yeah, I can agree. I'm genuinely worried about them in the playoffs. Like
I would be too.
I said it before. If they didn't start pulling it together, I'm calling them a first round exit.
I mean, because you got this series against the Giants, and then you play the Tigers at home, and then
the Tigers have been really good.
And then you just lost a series to the Tigers, just did in Detroit. And now you're playing the Giants, and it doesn't look like you're recovering because you're down 3-0 in the third at home against the Giants. And it's like, this is a 72-78 Giants team. This isn't an overwhelming Giants team. This is an okay Giants team.
Yeah, they're okay. We've delved into how that 2021 season was just a fucking wild season for the Giants, of just out of nowhere. That season was just fake. It didn't happen.
No,
it was a lie.
It was fake like the one before it. And then so then you host the Tigers again, and then you travel to New York to what everyone thought was going to be a season, like a season pivotal series.
And it still could be. It needs to be turned around like now.
But you need to sweep these next 2 series for it to be season critical, because right now it's not.
No,
it's not.
Right now you're 3 games back, and you're gonna be a wild card spot, but it's like, that's not the greatest space to be in, because right now you're in the wild card seed. You'd be taking on the Royals, which the Royals have been insanely good this year. I mean, behind literally.
Well, the Royals have a better pitching staff than you right now.
Yes, they do. 100% have a better pitching staff, and it's not even close.
So
this is why we were angry at them at the trade deadline.
And you close out the season away to Minnesota,
which Minnesota hasn't been bad either. They are currently the 3rd wildcard spot. And like, that's the cool thing, is that this AL wildcard race is gonna be a dogfight until the bitter end between the Royals, Minnesota, Detroit, and Seattle. Because all of that could change. The Mariners could get in. The Mariners could. I mean, it would be a pretty high jump because they're 4.5 back from the 2nd wildcard spot. But the Mariners could end up getting that 2nd wildcard spot. And now you have to go against, in a 3-game set, you got to face
Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and Luis Castillo.
Yeah, which is, and then out of the bullpen is coming Bryce Miller and Brian Wu.
Yeah, no, I don't want to face that.
That is
you could piggyback anyone with Bryce Miller and Brian Wu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, you're gonna get 4 more shutout innings. Like,
it's like, and the stuff isn't changing.
No,
you haven't been able to hit it all day. Welcome to part 2.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, and then we're gonna bring out our closer, Andres Munoz, to just slam the fucking door shut.
And it's like, and also, you've been seeing 96, 97. Get ready for 101.
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
Yeah,
you're gonna cry later, but don't worry about it.
I mean, that's why, like, Mariners in a 5-game series, not as scary because offenses can actually offense a little bit.
Yeah.
But in a 3-game series, Mariners are scary. Like,
I'd
very
be terrified.
Scary. Yeah,
I'd be terrified.
It's like you'll be lucky to get a hit today. And they're definitely not going to walk anybody. They never fuck. The entire roster.
And the Mariners would also be lucky to get a hit, but they could somehow luck into a hit more than you can.
I mean, they at least have.
Like, could you imagine, like, being the Orioles, facing the Mariners? All right, we got Corbin Burns versus Luis Castillo first game. Coin flip.
Yeah, coin flip. Yeah.
Second game, George Kirby versus whoever the fuck.
Zach Eflin.
Zach Eflin.
Yeah.
That's Kirby every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Yep. And then they're going to piggy. Don't worry, they're going to. Yeah. Logan Gilbert
versus Grayson Rodriguez.
Which Logan Gilbert's probably going to be the runner-up for the Cy Young this year.
He will be. Likely will be. Yeah. And it's just like there's no way. There's no way you win that game, because even if Logan Gilbert only goes 5, you know who you're getting out of the bullpen? Bryce Miller.
Or Brian, yeah, exactly.
Or Brian Wu. Either. Because they're probably going to go. What if they piggyback Bryce Miller off of George Kirby? It's like they're still not hitting either of them.
No, exactly. It's like, good luck. They scored the Mariners did only score 1 run today, but you guys didn't score any because you had to deal with that shit show.
You had to face the most diabolical pitching staff ever compiled.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Or let's say the Tigers keep surging and they take that second wild card spot. Tigers have been hot as fuck lately. Like, I don't want to face.
I love Gordon Burns. I'm giving Skubal over Burns.
No question.
I'm giving Skubal over Burns.
No question right now. I mean, Skubal has been the most fuck you pitchers this year. Yeah. It's been so fun to watch.
I'm so glad I bet him for Cy Young. It's going to net me a lot of money.
I'm still upset that neither of us picked him to win Cy Young.
Because we both wanted to. We both wanted to.
I thought it was so funny because you were like, oh, I really want to pick this guy, and I was like, I really want, and you didn't say who it was yet, and I was like, I had another guy I really wanted to pick, and we both were like Skubal, and it was just the most obvious pick, but
it was so obvious, but it was also there are legitimate concerns with picking him.
Yeah, it was his stuff is that electric to where it was look, the guy has the most fuck you fastball of a left-handed pitcher.
If both of us picked him, I wouldn't have been we can't do that. No. But I would also be like, oh, do I trust it? Oh,
it honestly
the Giants
feels like
scored another run, by the way.
Oh, great.
4-0 now. Let's see. Mike Yastrzemski is 2 for 2.
It feels
they're facing Blake Snell. This game's over.
This game is over. Yeah.
It's Albert Suarez versus Blake Snell, and Albert Suarez is getting tattooed
by the Giants. Not a good sign.
Concerning.
If the Tigers do end up making the playoffs, I'm gonna be so fucking mad that they traded Jack Flaherty at the deadline.
Oh, I'd be furious.
Because we talked about it before, them with Jack Flaherty, they have a legitimate chance to make a good push in the playoffs. They could go to the World Series. I definitely think they have just as good a team as with Jack Flaherty as any team going into the playoffs in the American League. Even without him, I still think they are competitive enough to where if they went on a run, it wouldn't be insanely shocking.
Oh, this should have been on News and Notes. We completely forgot of it. Heliot Ramos, that one guy none of us had heard of.
Yep.
First right-handed hitter to hit a home run into McCovey Cove.
That dude has insane power.
Yes, he's 0 for 2 today. However, do you want to hear the Giants lineup? Because this is just funny. This is a bunch of who the fuck? Leading off, Mike Yastrzemski. Okay.
We
know who Mike Yastrzemski is. He's a pretty consistent ball player.
Yeah.
Second, Tyler Fitzgerald. Third, Lamont Wade. Fourth, Heliot Ramos. Okay, it's fine. Probably that's a decent 1 through 4. After that, Conforto at DH. Patrick Bailey. Now here it gets fun. Grant McCray. Fuck, he's Grant McCray.
Made up ball player. Completely made up.
Next one's worse. Donnie Walton at second base.
What is the name that they always get? Joe Random. That's Joe Random. That's exactly who that is.
Hitting ninth and playing third base is Brett Wisely.
So 1 through 4 are guys where you're like, okay, these guys, they'd be on a good team, they should actually be 4 through 6. 6 or 5 through 7. Then they got their 5 through 7s. Okay, I've heard of these names. They're not scary, but they're players. They are players in the MLB. And then 7, 8, and 9 are just they're
who the fuck are these guys?
They're Joe Random is what they are.
Blake Snell's line so far through 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, no walks.
Are we going to be talking about a live Blake Snell, no Walker?
We genuinely might be, because 3 innings pitched, no walks for Blake Snell.
We've had him on the list once this season, which is the most mind-blowing of no walkers.
That was a
ever.
fucking miracle.
It's you know what? His walk rate has to be actually really low this year, which is fucking shocking for Blake Snell. Like, last year he literally led the league in strikeouts and walks. This year his walk rate, holy shit. You know he's actually got the highest strikeouts per 9 of any pitcher qualifying in history.
That makes sense. The dude strikes out everyone, but he also walks everyone. That's the problem.
Okay. Actually, his walks per 9 is not as low. I mean, it's lower than it was last year.
Well, that's not shocking.
He's got a 4.0 walk rate this year. 4 per 9.
Okay. So Yastrzemski is 3 for 2. Well, 2 for 3. I bet.
3 for 2? That'd be pretty impressive.
That would be pretty impressive. However, against the current Orioles, it wouldn't be that shocking.
Yeah, right.
With that, we have a long list. Grant McCray, made-up player.
Joe Random.
He's 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored.
All right. With that, you want to get into our say no to walks, people? We got a few of them.
We do. Go ahead, play the drum roll.
This one's your player, so you got. This was your choice for Cy Young, so you get to go with it.
George Kirby. He finally figured it out.
Finally.
7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, 3 Ks.
You know who didn't fucking figure it out? Their fucking manager.
He was pulled at 85 pitches. Why'd you pull him?
85 pitches in the 7th inning. He could have easily gone you the 8th and then probably gone the complete game. Honestly,
I wouldn't have been surprised if that had been a complete game shutout from him, because one thing that George Kirby does pretty well when he's on, he'll get ground balls.
I mean, obviously, he only had 3 Ks.
Yeah, he's like, and that's the thing. Kirby's a strikeout dominant pitcher.
Yeah,
the guy will strike out the entire world if he's on. If he's not getting strikeouts,
he's getting ground balls.
He's getting a lot of ground balls.
And at 85 pitches, like, this is
who did you bring in to relieve him? Fucking Austin Voth? That's not better. That's significantly worse.
Yeah, and then not only that, but it's like, okay, you're going to need your bullpen. Let George Kirby go the entire 9 innings. Save your bullpen for the fucking day. And then you have a day off for the bullpen.
George Kirby which is amazing. Had a lot of deep outings this year. Just let him save them that one fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, at 85 pitches, and it's not like if this was April, maybe I could think about it, but it's September.
Yeah, if it was April, it would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's literally the end of the season.
And you already know he was probably still sitting 97, 98.
Oh, guaranteed. All right.
It's like he would have been fine.
Guaranteed.
Whatever. Yeah. Joe Musgrove.
Joseph Musgrove. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 runs, 8 Ks. I was debating on putting him on, but the 8 Ks what did it for me. I was like, all right, 8 Ks, you're on there.
Yeah.
Now this next one got it for the Ks also for the second time he's been on this for almost an exact same.
I think it's almost the exact same stat line. I think he had 1 more K the last time.
2. I thought it was 2 more because I'm pretty sure it was 12 strikeouts.
Oh, it was 12. Yeah, no, you're right. It was 12. Seth Lugo, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits.
He was our first say no to walks guy. You know that?
Yep. He was.
He was our first guy.
No runs and 10 Ks. So, okay. Lord help me, I have no idea how Seth Lugo became this dominant.
And especially when his Savant
all of his underlying numbers should say that he shouldn't be dominant at all.
No. And then this entire season he's been like, well, I'm going to show you guys that Savant doesn't mean shit.
And he's like the one pitcher where apparently that applies.
Yeah, I mean, his ERA currently is a 3.05. His expected ERA is a 3.76. Expected batting average against 2.45. His fastball velo is 92.2.
Like, nothing is stunning here. It's just like, well,
everything says regression, but he just continues to say, whatever.
Fuck.
It's almost like he plays on the Brewers. Because they're the other one, like Tobias Myers. Your favorite pitcher.
That one annoys the fuck out of me.
It annoys the fuck out of me too.
All right, go to the next one.
All right.
This one I'm gonna let you stay because it's this was your one that you sent me on Instagram when it happened.
I don't even know how to say his first name, so I'll hope.
Yeah, good luck.
Kiter Montero? Yeah.
I would lean Kiter.
That's what I was thinking. 9 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 5 Ks, but he threw a fucking Maddox, which that tickles me. I think this is the first Maddox this year. No, Chris Sanchez had. Well, no, it wasn't. Remember?
No, it wasn't because there was something in it that
I think he gave up a run.
He gave up a run.
Yeah,
the run I don't believe was earned, but they said that it didn't count as a Maddox because there was a run given up, and it's just like, if it's not earned, who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
like
exactly. Anyways, I'll go through the weekend series really quick, even though we're on Tuesday, so fuck it. I'm already here. So, we've already gone through our teams, so I'm not going to do that. But the Dodgers took on the Bravos, and they took 2 out of 3 against the Braves, which, not shocking with how the Braves have looked this season. The Brewers are now playing the Phillies, but over the weekend they played the Diamondbacks, where they took 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. No, bad buttons. Padres took on the Giants, and they swept the Giants. So, yeah, the Padres are continuing to look like they might be the shocking team to do something in the playoffs, honestly. Then the Diamondbacks, I said they took on the Brewers. We're past them. They don't get another shout out. Mets took on the Phillies, and the Phillies took 2 out of 3, even though we've already said that, but I'm not afraid to beat a dead horse.
Rockies does it often.
Rockies Rockies won 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. That makes me feel good because
that tickles him.
Yeah, I like anytime the Cubs lose. It's a good weekend. The Twins lost 2 out of 3 against the Reds. Giants already said. Pirates. Did I say the Pirates yet?
No.
Okay. The Pirates. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Royals. Rockies already said. Marlins. They are a baseball team, and they played the Nationals, and they got. Oh no, they had a 4-game series with the Nationals, and they won one of the 4. So
good for the Marlins.
Yeah, good for them.
Moral victories.
Moral victories for the Marlins. They won one of those games. Good for you. The Yankees took on the Red Sox in a 4-game series, and they won 3 out of 4, completely beating Jared's dreams of the Red Sox making the playoffs out of him. Guardians took on the Rays in a 4-game series, and they split that series. Finally, maybe they're coming down to earth a little bit.
It might be.
I doubt it, but you know how that is. The Twin Cities took on... Oh, I said them. The Reds. And they lost 2 out of 3 against the Reds. Tigers, our other team, took on the Orioles, and they took 2 out of 3 against the Orioles. Yikes.
Not great for the Orioles.
No. Rays. Oh, another baseball team, the Blue Jays. Oh, yeah, they took on the Cardinals. They swept the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's about the state of the season for me. And the Oakland A's took on the White Sox, and holy shit, they lost 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. The White Sox won 2 games back-to-back. Huh. I guess they can do that. They're fighting hard to not be the world's worst team in the history of baseball. Yeah. They're still on pace. They still can do it.
They need to go 10-5, I believe, in their last. I think the record beforehand was they need to go 10-5 in their last 15 in order to not.
Which is not happening. That's not.
Which is not happening. I believe yesterday they updated it to 9-5. I don't know what happened today for the White Sox.
Let's see what their run differential is. We've been chasing this all season. Oh, man, it only got a little worse. 307.
What are we at?
Minus 307.
Jesus Christ.
It's not good, but it's not... I mean, I thought they'd be closer to 340 already.
I did too.
All right, want to run through the standings quick?
Yes. Okay, so in the American League East, you have the Yankees on top at 87-63, and the Orioles are 84-66, and looking to make it 84-67 tonight because they're down 4-0 already. And they're facing Blake Snell, and they haven't sniffed contact. Nice. Good work, Orioles. You've let us all down. The Red Sox are 75-75, and they ripped Jared's heart out and beat it to death with a barbed wire baseball bat this weekend. The Rays are 73-75, so the Red Sox... No, 73-77. The Red Sox could slip into fourth place, which would objectively be hilarious. The Blue Jays are 72-78. So I mean, honestly, the Red Sox aren't that far out of fifth.
Yeah.
In the Central, which is a war zone I wasn't prepared for.
No one wasn't prepared for.
Yeah. The Guardians are 87-64. The Royals are 82-69. And the Twins are 79-71, but the Tigers are creeping up there at 78-73.
We need you to not make us look like idiots.
They're doing their best.
They are. They're doing. If only they would have done this all season. If they would have done this all season, great. They would have been the best. I mean, they'd be leading the division and probably
would be
one of the best teams in baseball.
And then you have the White Sox.
They're a team.
Who are 36-115, which is that's just funny. That's just funny.
Yeah.
And then you have the American League West, where the Astros are 81-69, the Mariners are 77-73, the Rangers are 71-79, the Athletics are 65-86, and the Angels are 60-90. Awesome. Just great baseball going on in the AL West.
Oh yeah, amazing baseball in the AL West.
Yeah. Okay, so now for the National League. Because this is a National League podcast, the Philadelphia Phillies are 90-60, the only team in baseball with 90 wins right now. Guess who just homered to center?
Probably a Giant, I'm assuming.
Nope.
No?
It's a Philly.
Casty?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I got it. Hang on. I didn't even have any sound or any clips to play today, so have to.
I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
Wait.
I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.
It made it a 1-0 ball game.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was that Trump assassination attempt yesterday?
Yeah. No. It was Sunday.
I thought it was 2 days ago.
It was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday.
And wait, did you guys play yesterday?
Yeah, they played yesterday.
Okay. Did Casty homer?
No.
Oh. Well, then I wonder what tragedy happened today. Something happened.
Or something might happen.
That's an inside joke that's staying on the inside.
Staying on the inside. It is not leaving.
No. It's not leading the Twitter group chat.
Look, man, be careful.
You know I won't.
Anyway, the Mets are 82-68. They're in second place. They're 8 games back. The Phillies' magic number to win the NL East is 5. Will be the first time we did that since 2011. So hoping for that to happen. The Braves are 81-69, and they're currently up on the Reds. So they will... I don't want to say will be tied with the Mets, but they'll be getting closer. They'll be a half game back. The Nats are 68-82, and the Marlins are 55-95. All right, now moving on to the Central. The Brewers are 87-63. The Cubs are 77 and 73. The Cardinals are 75 and 75. It's funny, you and Jared have the exact same record.
Well, and you know what's funny about that? Do you remember at the beginning of the season, what did I say our record is probably going to be?
500.
Yeah. And what are we?
500.
Yeah.
Oh, who was the fuckhead pitching? That's a 95-mile-an-hour sinker. It can't be Tobias Myers. Oh, it's Frankie Montas.
Oh, that makes sense.
Then you have the Reds, who are 73 and 78, and then the Pirates at 71 and 79. And then you have the National League West, which is better than the AL West. The Dodgers are 89 and 61. The Padres are 86 and 65. So not close, but creeping up enough to maybe give you a little bit of a tingle. Like in the last
they could make it
weeks,
interesting.
They could make it interesting, but
They'd have
I doubt
to
it.
Fucking tear, but like
they would.
It could make it interesting.
And then you have the Diamondbacks at 83 and 67.
Hang on. So right now the Padres are playing the Astros. After that, they play the White Sox.
Oh, they could make it real interesting.
And then guess who they play right after the White Sox?
Tell me it's the Marlins.
Dodgers. They could make it interesting.
Could get real interesting.
That could get spicy. That could get real spicy.
That could be a really spicy last series. And then you have the Giants at 72 and 78, and the Rockies at 58 and 93. We're gonna have more 100 loss teams than we're gonna. I mean, we already have one 115 loss team. We're gonna have more 100 loss teams this year, and we're not gonna have a single 100 win team.
Yep. Them's the facts. This is what happens when you expand the playoffs. Manfred.
Yes. Shut up, Manfred.
Oh no! I'm scrolling because I wanted to see pitching matchups for the Padres Dodgers. I take a look who's your the Philly starter for Thursday, September 19th.
Oh yeah, no, I know it's Taiwan. However, I will say, objectively, it's way too funny for it to not happen that Taiwan Walker goes 7 shutout against the Mets that day. It would be perfectly hysterical if he went 7 shut against the Mets that day.
Well, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be because then they're going to put him on the playoff roster, and I'm going to see you cry.
Oh, he's not going to make the playoff roster. Get real. He's not making the playoff roster.
I hope not. I hope for your sake.
Hey, you know what? Statistically, Orion Kerkering's been better than Mason Miller. So, have fun breaking that one down. You can look at the Baseball Savant pages, but statistically, Orion Kerkering's better. And Orion Kerkering doesn't have a 104-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, and also he's not closing baseball games.
He's not closing baseball games, but they've pitched the same amount of innings. He has better stats.
Yeah, but you go ahead and tell me which guy you'd rather have.
Orion Kerkering.
That's because he's a Philly, you crackhead. If he was on any other team, you're going with Mason Miller. I know this.
Okay, but Orion's name is better.
But Mason Miller's nickname is better. The fucking Reaper?
Yeah, I know. All right, shut up. Fuck you.
All right. Well, everyone knows where to follow us, like us, share, whatever.
You should at this point if you're already here.
If you don't,
I mean, if you're here,
thank you. Yeah, thank you. But also, if you're not following, liking, subscribing, look down below at the comments or at the whatever details of the video. You'll find it.
You could be calling us slurs in the comments. We'd be okay with it at this point.
Pretty much. Actually, we wouldn't just be okay with it. We'd probably be pretty happy about it because that would just give us people to talk shit to. More people to talk shit to, not just our Twitter group chat.
Dog, we grew up in the early 2000s Call of Duty era. We've heard it all. You're not surprising us at this point.
I played MW2 a lot in 7th grade. I know for you that was like 4th grade, but like...
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah, I know. All right, later, everybody.
Peace.
Well, good news. I'm waiting for this to stop because I don't